In 2017, I was invited by a marquee painter to join him in an investigation of the world's most haunted island of Poveglia in Italy. Mark's methods of investigation were certainly different to my own, and we captured some interesting results on an EMF meter, which I shared during the subsequent investigation. I do hope you enjoy this visit to a very unique and quite creepy island in the Venetian lagoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I've actually arrived with my friend Mark Painter to the island of Poveglia in the Venetian lagoon. The famous island, the island of the dead, the island of the lost souls. The very same place where in 1922 a lunatic asylum was built, which was closed in 1968, and where the director of the asylum carried out horrendous experiments upon his patients, so much so that he lobotomized and killed some of them. And it ended up with him climbing into the bell tower here, which was built, I believe, in the 14th century, where he allegedly fell to the ground and was enveloped into a mist and died a short while later. I believe that to be just a local old wives' tale that's been spread to stop people from coming to the island. But having said that, it adds to the reputation of this place. I mean, this is something that most people would give their life for, to come and investigate. And yet, when I've arrived here, what have I found? I have found complete and utter dereliction. Everything is overgrown. The pathways are overgrown, the buildings are derelict, and of course ground disturbances has caused structural subsidences. So we are going to be very, very careful tonight where we are going to carry out our investigations. I'm quite excited about what we're likely to find here tonight. I'm in very, very rough clothing for obvious reasons, certainly not the man in the hat as you would expect. And the noises from the gulls, as you hear them across the island, are quite frightening and quite scary. A little bit of the history. The island was first occupied in the year 421 by people fleeing the barbarians, as with the people that settled and created Venice. It was occupied until 1379, when the people were forcibly removed because of an intended invasion or attack by the Genoan navy upon the people of Venice. And since then, it's been used on 3 occasions as a lazaretto, an isolation place where people with the bubonic plague have been brought here basically to die. The word quarantine derives from Venetian quaranta, which means 40, and it was here they were kept for 40 days and nights. And should they survive, and I know of no record of anyone surviving, they were allowed to return. It sounds very cruel for them to do this, but had they not isolated these people, the entire population of Venice would have been exposed to the bubonic plague, and it would have killed everybody. Instead, over the 3 plagues that have existed here, 161,000 people are believed to be buried here as ash. Their bodies were cremated and it was scattered across the island. And it's said that 50% of the soil of this island is human ash. Wandering around, you do get the impression of ash in certain spots. The island is bisected. One side is the South Island and the North Island. One part of the island was used as a giant funeral pyre where the ashes were scattered across the rest of the island. It is a very, very sad place to be. As far as the lunatic asylum that was here, the building has remained empty since the 1960s. I think it's beyond salvation. There have been plans afoot to buy and to convert and to do something with it, but it has yet to come to fruition. And currently today in Venice there is petitions that have been raised to do something with the island, to try and save it, to try and restore it and bring it back to life again. But here it's now just an abandoned nature reserve, full of danger, hidden dangers, and the promise of paranormal activity. But whatever is intended for the future of this island, it's got to be better than what is here now. Everything is smashed up. The footpaths are overgrown. And the whole site is tinged with a terrible sadness for the misdeeds that have taken place here in the past. I understand that last year 5 Americans came here and were due to be picked up by a certain time, I believe by 6 o'clock in the morning. But by 11 o'clock at night, they were so terrified, they put out a call for assistance, and the Venetian Fire Brigade came to their rescue and took them off the island. I should imagine they were in some pretty deep water over that. So, I'm hoping, and you're hoping, we're going to get something worth sharing, and I hope this is going to be something really, really fantastic. You may hear the odd boat driving past, or perhaps the loud seagulls. The island is inhabited with rats, I believe scorpions, lizards, very small lizards, thankfully. And the one thing that struck me most of wandering around here is the amount of dead rabbits that I've come across everywhere. The island's certainly got a very large rabbit population, so I don't think that any of these creatures that have been killed are going to depopulate the island. But it's something to be wary of, and particularly so at night if you hear movement in the undergrowth, as I can hear just now. Yes, I'm very excited. Mark's very excited. It is going to be something very, very special. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm now on the GoPro. I want to show you around and show you the state of dereliction of these buildings. And I'm absolutely shocked by the state that these buildings are in. Holes in the ceilings, there's been structural disturbance and subsidence, and of course the work of man in the form of youths that have come here in the past and have trashed the place. This is one of the washrooms, and we're using this as a base. We've got a 3-tiered bed which we're containing our equipment on at the moment. And just coming through the door here is Mark. This will be the first time you'll see him here today. Just stand out of the wind, Mark, so could you step back a bit? What are you feeling?
Everywhere. Crazy energy. I mean, it's got me goosebumps everywhere I step, basically. Nothing electromagnetic, but you feel... I can't express myself. It's almost overwhelming that they're crowding, trying to see. You see, I feel...
Well, let's go through here,
I literally feel
yeah.
somebody is just walking with me, not wanting to show me, but wanting to see what we're doing. I have explained to them that we brought energy, not our own, but energy that they could use if they wanted to. Not like the people before us.
Well, I'm here at the moment. I'm showing everybody the state of this place and just how dangerous it is to access. It really is bad, isn't it?
I went up the stairs. I went up the broken stairs. You have to get to the tower from outside of the tower. There is no interior access to that tower except on the outside, all the way in the front. I haven't discovered a back exit yet. But that tower right now I cannot get to until we go through the scrub on the front to get to it.
Okay, we could have a wander over there. Do you want to lead the way?
Yeah, absolutely, we can do that. But you've got to go through some brush. Upstairs is in more decay. You can see the crumbling ceilings you're looking at them from above. And it's just complete and utter destruction. This building
It's been totally trashed.
has been just decimated by uncaring, unsympathetic human beings.
Let's go through this gap. As you can see, everybody, it's very, very dangerous, to say the very least. I'm getting absolutely covered in debris. And over here, very quickly, you can see an octagonal fort. This is one of 5 which were built to defend Venice from enemy attack. I believe that was around 1679 or thereabouts. But of course, all it is just a bank of earth that's sided by brick. And this is part of the quay area. There's fishermen's nets here. We need to go forward, don't we, Mark?
Yes, all the way to the end, and then we have to go through the scrub brush.
Okay, we'll go to the tower. This is perhaps the oldest building on the entire island. We'll just stop very briefly and just show you around. There's a fishing boat in the distance there, and you can see the scaffolding that's been put around the building, but of course no repairs have been carried out. So we're just wandering through here, and there's the bell tower. The former church of San Vitale. The church itself was destroyed in 1804 on the instructions of Napoleon's army, and the tower was allowed to remain as a lighthouse. Why they decided they needed to take it out on the tower, I honestly don't know. We're now going through some more scrub, and this is it. This is just masses of scrub here. I'll just turn around again. Mark's leading the way there. Yeah, have you seen any dead, live rats, I should say?
Not rats, lizards, rabbits, dead rabbits.
Loads of dead
You
rabbits.
can see electrical. They say there's electrical in here and they've got it padlocked, but I don't think there's any possible electricity anymore in this building.
No, I don't either. It would run from a generator.
Let the animals run from us so they don't have to get scared. This appears to be the entrance to the tower.
Okay, we're going to the tower. Have we got any lights?
We've got a red headlamp.
Let's have a wander through into the light. Again, another room, totally derelict, full of garbage, rubbish. And then making our way around. And as we can see, if we scan the camera around, it is in a state of absolute destructive behaviour. I mean, the people that have carried out the damage here should be deeply ashamed, and also should the authorities who have allowed this to happen. Do we need to go straight forward?
I don't know where there's going to be a tower, but here's the stairs. These are the stairs right here that will go up.
Okay, I'll follow you.
If the stairs are still in working order.
We should have brought a lamp with us, I think. And look at this. There is absolutely no way tonight either of us are going to come up here. That's how dangerous the site is.
And I'm just hoping we can get up here from these stairs. These are the only ones I could find that would go up further. And see, this is... There's no way up from here. See, we've come past the tower. There's the tower. Now, wait a minute. We came in the front of the tower. Chris, how did we do that?
I don't know.
Wait a minute. We came in the front of that tower. Oh. We could not have gotten all the way over here. We could not have gotten all the way over here. You saw us come in the front door of the tower.
Well, Ghost Adventures were able to get into it, allegedly. Let's have a wander down and let's work our way back again.
That's got me a little confused.
Look at the drop here, folks.
The gimbal looks like it's working on its own.
It can be a little bit loose. It's just terrible, isn't it? Absolutely terrible.
I don't understand this, though. I mean, we're 25 or 30 feet from that tower, but we walked in the front of it.
Yep.
I don't understand that.
Well, let's go back down and see where we made a mistake. This place is full of ambiguities. As I say, I'm not feeling anything terrible, but I'm certainly worried more at this moment about the state of the place. Let's turn the camera around.
Look at that, how horrible. Trees coming down into the building.
Yep, it's bad. And then here, okay,
We came through here.
the tower's there, up there. So if you go to the right, let's see if we can work our way around. Or go through here. The tower's there, we must be able to access it from there. I know, they don't make it easy. I'm going to go down the other way.
Let's not go through that. That's in a bad condition.
As you can see, it's in a parlour state, to say the very least. Everything's overgrown, smashed up and unloved. Yep, it's totally collapsed now. That's where the tower would be.
The whole tower?
I'm fairly sure of that.
What's the stairs up?
Okay, if we look up there, literally everything has collapsed. It's in such a terrible state.
Let's see if there's another side to it.
Just walk through here. That's blocked, and that's sealed off. I think the access point has been closed off now.
That's what they've done.
Yeah, they've smashed it up.
This will be the other side here.
And you can't get through there. It's just a storage area. And we look up here.
What about the front side? We can get to it from the front side.
This is unbelievable, the amount of damage. Even from the last television show that's been here, the damage is 3 times worse than what it was previously. This is... here's the director's offices, where people claim it's quite active.
So it's got to be through here.
No, I think all access to it has been smashed up. What I want to do now, we've had a look around the inside. I want to take you across to the other side of the island, and again it's another walk through the undergrowth. Let's walk through here. Look in the distance, you can see.
I can't find those 4 bathrooms that I saw when I first got here.
No?
I don't remember where they were.
Yeah, I keep losing track of places. Right, I'm going to see if I can get around the back and make my way across the island. Just to give you folks an idea of how derelict this place really is. As you can see, it is in a terrible state. I think the scaffolding is probably the only item which is actually supporting the rest of the structure. And coming back to what I was saying earlier, there are many, many dead rabbits like this, and there's quite a few black ones that are dead. I can only assume that they stand out more from the rest of the crowd. As you can see, it's very dark and very gloomy. I mean, just look at how heavy the undergrowth is here. It's a far cry from when you see it on TV. I'm showing you the real asylum, and not a section of it where people can shoot from. I want to show you the whole raw footage. I'm not going to get through here, I don't think. Let's try. Around the back of the asylum buildings, coming back into the light. The noise above you are the gulls which frequent the island. And as you can see, more destruction, more dereliction. Spin round. As you can see, all is derelict. Just finding a way through this is virtually impossible. Kind of beautiful in a very surreal, very dark way. Just this vast ruin and emptiness. See if we can make our way through here. Many, many empty rooms. Poveglia is in such a sad and tragic state. We make our way through here. Now I'm going to try and reach the bridge. I haven't a clue what this structure is. Looks almost Egyptian, doesn't it? Probably a water storage tank. Now we're going through the undergrowth. It's pretty hazardous. There's another building there as well. And we seem to be back on a trackway. Quite where it takes us, I haven't a clue. Now we're back into light again. More dereliction and more dead rabbits. And here's the bridge. So this is what bisects the island from where you have the main buildings, and this is where the ashes of the dead were distributed. We go across here. The soil here is very hard, but it has an ashen colour. And this is what particularly annoys me. People come here for a barbecue and they don't clear up after themselves. They just abandon everything. As you can see here. And here contains the ashes of 161,000 people. Allegedly. A cemetery without a headstone. And again it just snakes off into the undergrowth. And here are the dead. I wonder if we get any voices on this camera. And the soil has, yeah, it looks like ash. You look at the soil here, it's very much like ash. And so we return from whence we came. I'm absolutely sweating. I'm standing in an urban cemetery without headstones. In the canal behind me there's a group of youths in a boat. Not much I can do about that. But it's what happens here when the light drops and the dead once more rise to gain their ground. And it's something I'm looking forward to, perhaps with a degree of trepidation. Contrary to a lot of reports, many people do visit this island, as you can hear. It's not so isolated as many people think that it might be. And can you imagine here the doctor wearing the beaky mask filled with herbs to kill the smell of the dead and the dying and the burning? It must have been something out of a horror comic for people to see them dressed like that, wearing a black cape and that weird mask. One can only speculate how people felt when they saw somebody dressed like that. There must have been something almost alien. But now, when you look at today, the protective biohazard suits that people wear, perhaps that was the Venetian version of a biohazard suit. But in the context of today, it would scare the living daylights out of anyone seen dressed like that. Yeah, it feels very sad here. Very sad indeed. So here we are. This is the famous ground. Where the ashes of the dead remain. People that we will never know their names. We will never know their lives. We'll never know their experiences on this earth. All we know is that they died in order to protect thousands more people. And so I return back to Mark in our control point. And when you're walking through here, you get this all-pervasive smell, a pong, which is a lagoon. But equally, it could also be those that lie here in spirit. I'm feeling very strong presences around me all the time. Curious, circumspect as to what I'm doing here and why I'm here. And the heat is stifling. It really is stifling. Once more. What's happening there, Mark? I've just been for a wander around. Anything to report?
Just feeling the energy. The kids are still back on the boat on the dock, so as long as they're talking, I don't feel anything. If I walk off by myself into that building, that's a lot of tension in that building right there. Here, nothing at all, and I think it's just because they don't like anybody intruding, that they don't like knowing that they're not going to harm them or anything. So I'm concentrating there tonight, but I'm still going to find that room somewhere. It's in this building somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Well, we can only tread safely because I've been around the entire site. It is very, very dangerous. I've been across the other side, across the bridge. To get there, I had to cut my way through a lot of bramble. It's virtually inaccessible, but we were able to get there. And now I'm back again, and I'm going to take a break now. It's been quite a long walk around the island. Hopefully, a bit later, we'll be able to start our investigations and start to touch into the spiritual activity that pervades here.
Run some thermal. I was getting some different readings on the ghost box, my ghost box. So it's a different level of energy. You can still see how the energy lines move, the wave lines move. So it's a definite different pattern here. And you're picking out some words, but I didn't ask any questions. I was just seeing if anybody was talking. So
Italian words?
I couldn't tell what the words were. They were coming so fast. I was trying to turn it down, but not going to concentrate on that until we start really doing that tonight.
Well, we've got a few hours now before it gets dark, and hopefully by then, in the twilight hour, we'll be able to start our work.
That sounds good.
Anyway, from me, it's time to sign off. I hope you've enjoyed this brief wander round. It's quite a hike just getting anywhere here. But the next time you'll see us will be when it gets dark. Okay, it's now starting to fall into dusk. It will soon be dark here, and the energies what's wandering around this building are starting to build up. It's certainly taking on a much more sinister undertone, and we're looking at different areas that we can access. The problem we have here, take for example the bell tower, it is completely inaccessible now. It's completely filled with debris, and just wandering around most of these buildings, it's virtually inaccessible. And even just going for a short walk into the scrub at the back, you can easily become lost. And that's something we're trying to avoid for tonight's investigation. Mark has been wandering around too. He's picked up some energies and feelings about places. And we both more or less agreed that the hospital area is somewhere that we need to go back into a bit later. And we're in the washroom area at the moment, and there's certainly, I believe Mark heard the sound of footsteps earlier, so there's certainly things building up here, things that we can get our teeth into. Anything you want to add to it, Mark?
It's just going to be dark here any minute now, dark enough to where you're going to be able to see the night light showing on all of the videos. You have to watch closely because shadow spirits are very dark, and you'll be seeing darkness. You may be able to pick them out. We're going to be doing full spectrum photography. I'm going to use some infrared photography. We're going to be using the thermal imaging camera, recording some thermal imaging cameras in the hospital also, where we've had some very, very strong, deep feelings back in the back part of that hospital area.
And I'm certainly hoping it's going to be a very successful investigation. We're here till 2 a.m. We've had a few visitors today, haven't we? Local Italians that have come across from Venice to have a wander round, and they think that we're crazy that we're here. But unfortunately the proof will lie in the pudding. There is a present danger from the physical structures, so we have to be very mindful. The noise you can hear at the background, there's a whole flock of seagulls that live on the octagonal fault just across the other side, and they should be calming down very, very shortly. And hopefully we can get this underway and be able to find some very convincing activity which can be shared to you. Last words, Mark?
Wish us luck, folks. This is a dark place. A lot of death was here. Some of it bad death, not just death from plagues, but other types of death. So there's just a lot of energy here. Just cross your fingers for us and give us a good hope.
And it's as creepy as hell. Anyway, enough of this. On with the investigation. As daylight departed, we both gathered our equipment and very carefully picked our way through rubble and darkness to the investigation area. I sensed on the journey 1,000 eyes peering at us from darkened corners, but felt no harming presences within them. It was going to be a truly fascinating night's investigation. Initially, I attempted to run a ghost box session from our investigation point in a partially ruined and collapsed former residential area in the main hospital building. Both Mark and myself agreed beforehand that this area seemed the most likely to yield responses, and accordingly Mark set up a number of K2 EMF devices with an EM pump to attract spiritual responses. It was an interesting experience, as Mark was used to working alone using his own mythology with trending technology, whilst I generally tended to work with a night camcorder and a ghost box to elicit activity. My responses with the ghost box device were flawed by virtue of the fact that they were in Italian and I don't speak Italian, but equally I detected no voices that were uniquely different in tone to normal radio transmissions. On the other hand, Mark's K2s were drawing a very strong response from the presences within, and so after some 30 minutes I stopped the device to join Mark on what transpired to be an amazing investigation, which you will see in this abridged version, which ran in total for around 2 hours.
Okay, now you've had some reactions on here, haven't you, Mark?
Well, I've had them 3 times come out of that back room.
Okay,
I don't know how many of them there are yet, but they're willing to come out and at least see.
There's a funny smell in here.
This is a strong light. These 2 lights, you don't feel anything. You just make them go off. The 3rd light gives you energy. It'll make you warm, okay? I need you to understand, you have cold nights here. It will make you warm, but you've got to come out here and you've got to see for yourself.
Oh, excellent.
He's in the back room. Somebody's got to be here. I need you to show me. Come on. That's what I'm talking about, okay? So you came down here already. Now you're close enough to get the heat, okay? Come over here and get the heat. And then you make this go off again. I need you, when it's blue, it's very hot, okay? I need you to come and tell me, make the lights go off. They may all be out here now. I don't know. My skin is burning up. That's my buddy. That's my buddy, okay? Now, I can't hear you, okay? The lights are good, okay? Is there more than one person, or are you by yourself? If you're by yourself, make the lights go off. Okay. Are there more than one? Are there more?
It's really good. It's really good.
Are there more than 2? More lights means yes. You guys come through the door if you want to come out here. I've brought all kinds of things for you. I need you to tell me, okay? Is the doctor here, is the head doctor a bad man?
Can you see the lights on your camera when they flash?
He's a bad man.
Okay, I'm not getting anything on mine.
He's a bad man, right? Let me pull back. You see the response.
Oh, yeah.
Bad doctor. Okay. All right. Now, do you understand I have read about him and I know he was bad? Okay? Did he do something bad to you? And if it was something bad, you don't have to speak about it to anyone else. Okay? I'm asking you because I want to talk with you about it.
As you're getting the recording on your camera, I'm not seeing it on this. I'm just going to focus on you while you're doing this. And we can tie the 2 together.
He or she just told me that that doctor was a bad doctor. Okay? Now that confirms some reports, but see, you understand I've been here for the first time ever, and I have to verify what you tell me.
I'm going to stand the other side of you so I can see you while you're doing it. Yeah, it's going again.
Do you? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I
Now,
can't
put
see
in your
anything.
mind, okay, because a K2 doesn't have words, but you put in your mind what he's doing there. He or she is telling you about that doctor. Now, you all think what you want on video, it doesn't matter. I can't put words in their mouths, but you see the emotion coming out of these electronic meters in a building that has absolutely no electricity in it. A run-down, beat-up building. Thank you. Thank you. I want you to do me a favor, please. I'm asking for your help. Are you a male? Are you a female? All right, come back here, okay? I need you to come back with me to the back pump, okay, so that you can get some energy. I don't want you running out of energy if you've got conversation, okay? Come with me. Please come with me, dear. Come on. Come with me, dear. Now, we were talking about the doctor. Yes, we were talking about the doctor. Okay? I need you to tell me, are you taking medication that the doctor prescribed for you? Grab this amulet, baby. Okay, just take this.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it visually, but I can't see it on camera. I might be better to use, if you've got that headlight, I might be better to use my other camera.
Are you swinging this? Are you swinging the amulet? You like the necklace? I thought you would. I thought you would. I thought you would. This is you and I. This is you and I tonight, dear. Okay? See, when we speak like this, don't you feel like this is a different thing for you now? Don't you understand? I bring you the juice, and this doesn't... I know. This doesn't hurt you. This helps you. Okay? I would like to make you understand that you don't have to put up with that doctor anymore. They call this the island of the dead. Do you know that, sweetheart? They call this the island of the dead. Okay? I can help you with that if you want me to. That's my friend, okay? That's my friend, okay? Don't feel bad. We're having a terrific conversation. This is more of a roundtable conversation that we can all be in. Thank you. Thank you. Okay?
Hang on, let's follow you.
You've got to come back a couple. Okay? Was that just one?
Can you tell us your name?
Gosh, don't go away. Come back with me. Come back with me. That's right. Okay? Bring the others. That's what we were talking about. Bring the others. Okay? Come down here where your friend is. Okay? We need to talk about the medication. I'm going to put this really close so you can reach up and see it. You see it? Isn't it beautiful? All right, now you go back and you can get the energy too, okay? You can come and get the energy too. If I put it down for you, I would be willing to give it to you, okay? But you have to talk to me about it.
That's been crazy. Yeah. It's good. No,
I'm
this
not
is-
kidding you.
No,
That
you're
gets
doing
me,
well. This
that
is
tears
good.
me up. Look. If I give you the necklace, would you talk to me? Just talk to me. That's all I'm asking. Now, what happens if somebody else wants the necklace? Huh?
It's incredible. The EM pump it's just variable, but there, that's coming through very strong.
I mean, you feel a forceful conversation out of that. It's not just, I just don't. It's like bam, 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 bam. Okay? Anybody in the back? Anybody in the back? You see your friends talking, okay? It's not harmful. It doesn't bother you. I don't have medication.
Mention the word medication.
Bless your heart.
That's really, really cool.
Bless your heart. Oh, here's your whole conversation right here. Look at this.
Oh yes, it's just been really, really agitated.
You see, you think of a female who's starting to tell a story, and then she gets tired at the end of it, or she gets frustrated at the end of it, or she is so overcome by the storytelling itself that she just trails off at the end. You notice the cadence and the speed that is happening, and you notice the impact of the
Oh,
of the
totally. I
stone
mean,
itself when you lay the stone
variables
down.
there. I mean, it's followed you from one box to the other box.
I usually try to come out and get photographs, but tonight it doesn't matter, okay? You've talked to me, and that's important.
Can I ask you a question? If you're a girl, could you make the lights flash? Are you a girl? Yes. Are you a young girl? Are you a young girl? Could you make the lights flash if you're a young girl? Are you a lady? Could you make the lights flash? Yes?
Don't be shy, sweetheart. It's okay. Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Are the nurses bad here? Are they bad people? If they are, could you make the lights flash if they're bad people? Yeah, they're bad people.
There's your story.
Yeah.
And that's a harsh story.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, this is vigorous. This is like, yes. Yes, okay, thank you. Were you taken from the mainland and brought here? Were you brought here from the mainland against your will?
Wow, that's interesting. I wonder if she was a part of some family that was here, maybe staff.
Oh, wow, that's really gone off the scale. Yeah, that's totally gone off the scale. Wow.
Sweetheart, you were part of a staff. You were part of the families that were here, weren't you? Did you pass away on the island? You never know. You never.
Are you with your family now? Are they with you? Yes.
Do they protect you from the bad nurses? As a doctor, was he a horrible doctor? Was he unkind, unfeeling? Did he make you do things that you didn't want to do? Yep. Okay, sweetie, it's all right. You don't have to. Were they terrible things? Yeah. Are we safe with you? Are we safe in your presence, in your company? Yeah.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, sweetheart.
To find out what your name is, if I go through the alphabet, the first letter of your name, could you make the lights flash if I go through the alphabet so we can get your name? I will start with A, B, G, H, H. Thank you, sweetheart. H.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
She's trying to tell us the full name, that's the problem. And can I try for the second letter of your name so we can find out your name, so we can address you, and then we know who you are as a friend? I'll start off the alphabet again. The second letter of your first name, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Oh, hang on.
Sweetheart, you don't have to give us everything, okay? We're just doing this to try to get to know you better.
We're just trying to work out what your name is so we can address you as a human being.
Your name's not HK, is it? Is it a nickname? Or is it that just names aren't important in here, sweetheart?
Are you happy for us to continue? If so, could you make the lights flash if you want us to continue with this?
Sweetheart, are you tired? Okay. Have we exhausted you? I brought you the energy so you could...
Yeah.
Spirits don't have that kind of time. They got all the time in the world, but they don't have time to talk.
Are you being prevented by somebody? Is somebody stopping you? Yeah. Is it your family who are stopping you? Is it the nurses who are stopping you? Yeah, it's off the scale, so it must be. See, in her time, in her world, it's still as it was. We see the shell, but she's still there in that time.
Thank you, sweetheart. If you're a young girl, is it about time for your bed? Is it about time for you to turn in? Or do you get to stay up late here as late as you want?
Time is in.
I shouldn't have even had to ask.
Time is infinite.
Do you have any living family that are living on this side? You have no one else? Is all of your family gone?
Yeah, looks like it.
Not sure. Is she stuck in this world? You probably would want to stay with your family here then, right? Honey, that's sad for us, okay, out here. I know. But if you need to stay with your family, then I understand that. See? All right. We'll let you go if that's okay, sweetie.
Thank you for talking to us. We really do appreciate your kindness. And we'll say to you, thank you.
Thank you, sweetheart. Hang on to the necklace for a second, sweetie, okay?
This is really off the scale. This is someone totally new. Okay, so we've moved from the first K2 to the second one, which is by the door. And you're getting a very strong reaction on that device now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was just talking to one of the younger girls here. She says that the doctor was a bad man.
And the nurses were bad.
Is that true? It's almost a fear to talk about it. Thank you. Are you on medication too? I know. I have to talk to you through this though, okay? So I'm waiting for you to speak. Okay? I know you guys are on medication. I know. Did the doctor...
Well, there's something really troubling going on here. Yeah. Oh, good. Excellent.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. All right. Can I guess, are you a boy? We're heavily medicated, or he's just not got the strength.
Yeah, it's just not coming across fluidly. This battery is losing power, so...
We're losing everything. This has sapped everything. Guys, you know, as strong as you are, you take a lot of our energy, okay? Our cameras are going to go out, and our video is going to go out, and all the things that we can do to capture your voices, it's going away from us. So we've got to try to go back and get some other things. Will you allow us time to go get some of our other things? If we come back, would you allow us to come back and talk to you? See, then we turn into anybody else who just comes in and gets a quick EVP and rolls out the door. I promise you, we'd come back.
Okay, I think that was... yeah. There's something moving around in here.
We will leave these meters on the ground for you. Okay. All right, guys, remember I told you we'd be back, okay? Please hang with me. Did you stay?
The device is still there. Yeah, they're still here.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Thank you, dear. That makes me happy. That makes me happy that you stayed and waited for us.
Are you happy for me to be here? No, they're with you, Mark. Just for the camera, Mark's taken the full spectrum camera around the corner to see if he can pick anybody out and bring them back here. I'm really amazed by what he's achieved thus so far tonight. I mean, this is, apart from the EMF meter, the K2, none of this technology is anything that I use at the moment, although of course now I'm very tempted to move into a different phase. Are you a guy? Could you flash the lights if you're a man? Or a boy? Oh, I know you can do it if you want to. Are you a girl then? Could you flash the lights if you're a girl? Not a response, you ask. Ah, there we go, it just suddenly triggered.
Thank you.
Are we a boy or are we a girl? I think it's a girl. Yeah, I would say that's a girl.
Well, it was 5 pegs when I came through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry. My apologies if you are a female, okay? Are you a female? So you're a young man.
Playing games.
He's playing game.
If you are a girl, and I do apologise, could you make the lights flash just to confirm that? Because it's just out of politeness on our part. We don't want to offend you. Ah, girl. Okay, thank you. The last thing we want to do is to cause offence to anybody here. That's why we come here in love, light and peace, and we just want to be friendly. Did you notice, can I ask you a question, did you notice those people on the boat? You're a bit ahead of me on that answer. Did you notice the people that arrived on the boat, that arrived here earlier, they've now left? Did you hear them? Did you see them? Some young people. Do these people scare you?
I don't think much scares you, does it?
Ask the same question to see if you can get the response.
Did you hear the boats come by with the loud children? My dear, did you hear the yelling and the screaming?
Yeah.
I know, I'm sorry. We asked them to leave, okay, so they're gone now.
They were just they were frightened, and that's why they were making so much loud noise.
You hear that all the time? Do people get rude like that all the time?
Yep. Do you see terrible things happen here? Yes. People damaging this beautiful building. People showing disrespect. People that come here to damage things and to scream and shout. Does that annoy you? It would certainly annoy me. Yeah. Well, we thank you that you're prepared to talk to us and to communicate. Thank you. Thank you. We really do appreciate that. Sorry, Mark, do you want to speak?
Well, I hope she's not mad at me. I mean, I'm sorry. I really did not. I wasn't able to see you, sweetheart, so I didn't know. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Did you go over and did you see the necklace that I showed to the other young lady? Well, I guess that's...
Is that a yes?
I can't tell.
Was that a yes? You did? Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you. That was a special piece made so that you folks that were in another place other than Chris and I would be able to feel that and respond that. Did you feel some energy coming from the necklace? Was it something different for you that you'd not seen before? It just wasn't of any consequence to you, was it? For me. I wanted you to come down here, okay? You got to come down here. Sweetheart, are you still with me or did you have to go? I've lost this one.
No, back. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you very much. Do you have enough energy to touch this? It makes a different sound. This is the sound it makes, okay? Don't get frightened. That's the sound it makes. And when you touch it, it makes the lights go off too. It helps me. It helps me to understand where you're coming from so I can maybe see your hand or I can see where you're standing. That helps me. Okay?
Can you do that? Could you do that for me as well, please? Could you make that buzz? It's a really good fun thing to do if you could do that.
This takes a lot of strength though. You've got to come and get some of the energy pump before you come and do this. You've got to come over here and get some. Wait till it goes blue.
Like this.
Not skin. Your fingernail won't even set it off. It has to be electromagnetic. It's got to come out of skin.
Okay.
That's why I like that meter. It's very specific. It's not even like the K2. I mean, not like the EM.
It's not so general.
It's exactly right. Very specific.
No, that's
gotta be
excellent, Mark.
Yeah. You have to have solid contact on that piece of machinery.
No, that's really, really cool. I'm really impressed with this. Are you happy with all this equipment? Do you like what we're doing? If so, could you make the lights flash to let us know? Yep, you're happy. But I know it's difficult. I know you're trying to tell us something. I know you are trying to speak. And I think they're probably trying, but they can't make it. They can't make it move. We were enjoying your company. We'd love to speak to you again. Just for the benefit of the tape, Mark, what is that made of? Is that a plastic?
No, it's glass. It's blown glass with some. She said some words over it. I didn't watch the process, but she explained it to me. And
so there's nothing metallic in there that people could say are causing the lights to flash. That's the question.
No, absolutely not. No, it's all glass.
It's all glass.
Woven glass.
Yeah, and it's from Germany.
It was blessed by a lady in Germany. She said she did a reading over it, and you can see
Bring it up to the lens of the
some of
camera.
the gold flecks in it.
Okay, down. Right, okay, let me just put the light on it. As you can see, it's not a metallic object. This is metallic, this is magnetic, and it's not sticking to it at all. This has a magnetic base.
She called it an infinity something, okay? You can see the continual swirl.
So if anyone who's watching, I can assure you it's not metallic, it is glass. And it's not filled with metal either. You can see all the way through it, it's semi-transparent.
You can see the patterns on the front through the back glass itself. So, and the metal clip does not set K2s off.
Just show that, and you can see it's not reacting to it at all.
You know, we have lost everything.
It's gone.
Completely.
Yeah. Well, sorry to the fact that you've gone from here. We would love to continue this with you, but we also understand that your energies become depleted, you get tired, or you get bored. Right, a reaction, thank you. Are you bored? Yeah. Really bored. Really bored.
I thought the doctors or nurses were in here and you couldn't speak.
No, just bored. I know you're bored. Yeah, I mentioned bored and it flashes again. Wow. Bored. Okay, I'm sorry we've made it boring for you, but unless we can find a way of opening up an avenue of conversation or to do something that's going to make it interesting for you, it's difficult to know what you want.
But you see, we've pulled all of this energy now to here.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Nothing there at all.
Okay, guys.
What about being slightly different? What about putting two K2s together on one chair and seeing if they're prepared to make them flush alternately? From one device to another.
I just hope he doesn't get ticked off because we're just playing games with him.
Well, it's just trying to make you less bored. Every time I say bored, the lights flash. Because you make both lights flash if you're really bored. No, you're just bored.
See, you guys, we're the kids here, okay? We're the kids here. You're helping us.
I'm putting it together. So just for people to see, one only goes off. It shows you that. Are you still bored?
Man.
It's just boredom. They just fed up. I think the bottom line is they don't want to talk anymore.
Well, so, you know, it's like put in your mind the day room where everybody's in there for a while and then nothing's going on.
No.
So there's the guy that's left. He came over to check, or she came over to check the necklace probably.
Mm-hmm.
Or just to do what we...
See, only one's flashing.
What the heck is that?
1K2, not 2. Oops.
What the heck is that? Okay, let me try something. Let's try this.
So we've got two next to each other.
Okay, so I'm thinking the necklace was probably what you came over to see. Am I correct? It is a fascinating necklace. It really is. Oh, Chris, we've put this one to bed. Jesus.
Well, should we go back to and control room area.
Guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we do
apologize. I know we took this too far and we just took too long with you, but it's important for you to understand that we're simple human beings.
We only know that you've spoken on these devices, these cameras. We do apologise. Okay, Mark, we've just had, best part of 2 hours, and at one part of the hospital building where we've communicated with Spirit, we had amazing results on the EMF meter. They literally went off the scale. It was a meaningful dialogue that we enjoyed with them. So what is your overall feeling and view about tonight?
It's hard to describe. When we first got here, we took a general walk. Chris and I walked around this entire building. We saw the room that we've spent the last better part of 2 hours in yesterday, I'm sorry. It was a long time ago. I never remembered where the room was. I never could find the room again. We decided, once darkness hit, to locate that room on a map. I still couldn't find it. I said, let's do the sanitarium and let's do the hospital. The sanitarium is overgrown. Could not get into it.
Oh, like most of the site.
Like most of this entire island. It's just appalling. The conditions we'll show you in photos. But nevertheless, we went to the hospital building. I found the room that I first had gotten my impressions on. And the impressions were stronger this time. They hit me outside of the third door going in. Chris and I took all kinds of equipment, from thermal imaging equipment to infrared cameras to K2s and touch meters and all kinds of video equipment to get you all kinds of evidence. The 30-some minutes or so that you're going to see of dedicated, continual talk to, I'm going to say, one specific young girl is astounding. It's absolutely astounding, and it's something that you would expect out of a place of this magnitude of pain. She told us that she was on medication. She told us that the doctor was a bad doctor here, which we had verified by another individual on another K2 verifying to us that the doctor was a bad doctor here. Heard no good reports on this doctor or the nurses, okay? Although I know there had to have been some good nurses. We have initial reports told us that the doctor was a bad doctor. We couldn't prove it. Seemingly now, from two people, we know that the doctor seemed to be a bad man. We had spirits rush out of a 3-bedroom area just to get to us, to talk to us. And it's going to be on film. You're going to be able to see it. It's amazing, extraordinary bits and pieces of spirits on the lost side trying to communicate with us. In the end, when the contact was broken, we had boats of children that damaged the noise level of the building, the entire building. They were gallivanting around and cavorting out in the water. We walked out, and Chris was actually looking to them as a ghost. He scared them so bad they jumped back in their boats. So that broke our contact.
Well, I went to have a word with them. They thought I was a ghost at first, and,
Yes.
and they ran. And I went over and I said, I'm English, and can I have a chat? And they spoke English, and I explained to them what we were doing. And I gave them one of my business cards and said, well, look, check us out on YouTube in about a month, and you'll be able to see this for yourself. And they were quite amazed. They were a bit noisy. The reason they made so much noise was because they were frightened. That's the reason, simple reason, they were scared. Well, first of all, tonight, Mark brought a lot of equipment, some of which I'm obviously familiar with, especially the K2, and I brought my ghost box. The ghost box session I started off initially, and again, coming back to the areas that Mark identified were also the same areas that I could feel the same negativity, the same energy, the same feeling, the same response. But anyway, we set up the ghost box. The problem is, I don't know what they were saying to me because it was coming across in Italian. That is the problem. I'm hoping I might be able to get somebody to look at it and say, well, yes, they were saying some blah, blah, blah. But at the moment, it was a lot of garbage. So we stopped the ghost box session and we continued with Mark's session using EMF meters and the rest of his equipment, the millimeter, and what else was there?
We used the thermal imaging camera.
Thermal imaging, but
we didn't
that never
see
picked
anything on
anything
that.
up.
No.
No.
The K2s mainly, and then the amulet that I have brought over that was a specially blessed amulet that seemed to be very,
That seemed
very...
to get a reaction, and I was very much impressed, so I took a back seat and let Mark continue with the rest of the show, and I was really impressed with the results that we got. And it's certainly food for thought for me as an investigator, because being the old school investigator that I am, to try and invest in more technology and more equipment, which is going to garner better results. Okay, well anyway, thank you everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been hard work for me, it's been hard work for Mark, but I hope the results that you see are more than compensation for our frustrations that we've suffered today. Thank you, and God bless. Well, thank you very much for watching my latest production, and I hope, sincerely hope, that you thoroughly enjoyed it. And if you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button now and be up to date with all my latest releases. Thank you.